Alright, welcome back everyone dito sa latest episode of R&R. Sir Ronald, tagal natin nagsama. Mga 3 hours na hindi tayo kasama. Pero mga 1 week naman since our last latest R&R. Ang daming nangyaring developments including of course itong nakakahumba na mga pangyayari. Marami tayong pag-usapan. Flood control, medyo pati yung paborito mong abogado, very ano siya, anti-corruption siya ngayon at talagang desidido siya na tumulong sa efforts ng ating gobyerno para labanan ang korupsyon. Talagang mga DDS natin ngayon, very involved in anti-corruption, good governance. Ha? Usong-uso ng good governance, daan matuwid na lang ngayon bigla sa Ronald, diba? Si BBM. And of course, gusto ko rin pag-usapan a little bit about itong uh, mukhang gambling, online gambling. Biglang galit lahat ng senador ngayon. Bati si Jinggoy ba kanina, talagang nandidiri na daw sila sa pangyayari sa ating bansa. So Sir Ronald, as our resident illegal analyst, as our luminary, as not so luminous, Sir Ronald, let's start muna dito sa ICC Harry situation. Since hindi tayo sa TV katulad ng kanina, hindi ata alam ng mga tao yung safe house natin, tayo lang mga host ng One News. Kasi sabi ng tao, bakit hindi kasama yung ganito, ganito, ganito. Ano ba? Mga ano lang kami, mga host kami ng TV5 One News na pwede magkasama. Kaya talaga mga tao talaga. Akala nila ano lang yon, it's like just a fun podcast lang. So I just had to give a kind of an update about that. Okay, Sir Ronald, tapos na yung intro ko. Nandito ka na ba sa mundo? Ka-text mo ba yung katawag mo kanina yung tungkol sa flood control? Ito, Sir Ronald, what is the backstory of the backstory ng Humba? Harry versus DDS.
Well, ang pinagawayan nila, yung isang kainan daw na nag-gate crash daw si Harry at kumain ng maraming humba at ginamit ng isang kaaway niya na yung mukhang hindi naman nga nung araw lang na yon, mukhang before pa nag-aaway na sila. So, ganun yung tip of the iceberg na incident at nakita natin sa mga TikTok yung nangyari, no? Parang gustong-gusto nilang pinapanood ang isa't isa habang nag-aaway, no? Pero syempre, it's a part of a bigger dynamic. Yung dynamic between Hanilet and the other family, no? Yung sila Sara, sila Baste, sila Pulong at yung mga supporters nila. Mukhang lumalabas na si Harry, si Maharlika ay mas nakadikit kay Hanilet, yung mga hindi pinapapasok na ngayon doon sa ICC para bumisita kay Digong at yung first family, sila Sara, sila Duterte, nakausap yung abogado ni Digong, si Kaufman. So, lumalabas na yung dynamics na yan ay nag-i-spill over na dito sa mga followers nila. Especially yung mga characters like Harry Roque, no? Si Kifi, yung isang vlogger din na nakadikit naman kay Sara, sila Trixie Angeles na mukhang nakadikit kay Sara, and all the other creatures in this telenovela.
Before, Sir Ronald, we go into morphology, biology, and physiology. Itong evolutionary theory natin ng 5 stages of DDS evolution. Sir
Ah,
Ronald, bakit parang walang may gusto kay Harry? Parang like no one likes Harry. Even Tatay Digong sabi niya kay Kaufman, pauwi niyo na yan. Knowing na wanted siya sa Pilipinas. Hindi ba parang mean masyado si Tatay Digong kay Harry? Hindi ba na-appreciate yung loyalty and dedication ni Harry to defending the cause?
di ba for a while nga ay nakita mo naman nung siya ay spokesperson ay kinatay na siya ni Digong na ang gulo-gulo niya, no? Ang gulo-gulo niya kaya alam ko hindi siya naisama sa slate at that time ng 2019 dahil magulo daw si Harry Roque. So even during the presidency of Digong ay madalas na niyang tapakan sa mukha yan. Pero mukhang unruffled naman si Harry ay
Parang naalala ko sa Ron, alam mo yung mukha ni Season, Chavit Singson, nung nagsasayaw si Harry. Yung nagsasayaw
nung
sa pawis na pawis yung gano'n niya, yung mga paligid
parang
niya.
parang siya, parang basang-basa yung
Tapos
kanyang
yung tingin ni
harap.
Singson, parang gagawin nito lahat para lang manalo.
Pero,
Tingin na yan, feeling ko yung tingin ni Digong sa kanya, yung same gaze. The
Oh.
Singson gaze. Feeling ko yun din ang Digong gaze sa kanya, no?
At saka siguro naalala rin ni Digong noong 2016 nung binanatan niya si Digong as a killer na dapat hindi iboto, no, na kung siya ay abogado ni Digong sa ICC, papalabas ng ICC 'yon, no, yung video na 'yon, no. So, tingin ko ay hindi ganun kahirap na kasuklaman si Harry Roque kahit ng kanyang mga kasama.
Speaking of which, I mean, if you're Harry Roque, what is your ball game? Because this eventually goes to the fault lines we talked about. Because if you're Harry Roque, on the surface, you would say all he needs to do is to wait for Sara Duterte to become the next president and happy na siya ulit. Balik siya sa Pilipinas, mawala lahat ng kaso niya. Who knows, baka something even more, di ba? Uh, but some would say hindi siya malapit kay Sara, mas malapit siya sa kabilang dimension ng DDS universe. So baka naman not necessarily a Sara presidency will be best actually for him, or he might be just as marginalized and all. So I don't know, like if you're Harry Roque, what is your game plan? You're just gonna be a troll for the next 2, 3 years? Bastusin mo si BBM, mag-troll ka ng mga, well, takot siya sa atin, Sir Ronald. But, I mean, like, what is he gonna do? Is makikihumba lang siya for, what will be the game plan? Kasi, Sir Ronald, the
Yes,
reason I'm
siyempre.
asking you is because ikaw, may game plan ka nung panahon ni Digong eh. Bigla ka nang disappear. And then biglang nag-reappear ka, biglang you're everywhere. Like, you're in every channel except mine. And then biglang lumapit ka rin sa akin, baka naman Richard, you want to also have me on your channel. So ang inisip ko, what if Harry will pull off a Ronald Llamas in 2029? Na biglang si Harry ang guest ng lahat ng podcast.
Baka 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 mahirapan. Nung hindi kasi ako lumalabas noon ay meron ako ibang ginagawa, no? Meron ako ibang ginagawa na
Seryoso na matino.
under the radar, no? At nung namatay yung aking boss, naging Ronin ako, masterless samurai. Kaya naging hobby ko na lang yung mga ganitong klaseng podcast, no? Hobby lang to, hindi naman to career katulad mo eh.
Naging wild ka sa Ronald. But I don't think Harry needs that to be wild.
Tapos,
I think
tapos
Harry will be wild regardless of Ronin or not Ronin status.
hindi ko naman alam na being an asshole pala ay works in this milieu, no? Kaya edi isagad ko na being an asshole. So,
Sir Ronald, wala tayong pang-edit ng mga baka shoutout naman sa mga
pero
MTRCB
pero
friends
tingin ko
natin dyan.
actually wala nang value added si Harry kahit kanino eh.
Ngayon isip ko,
Right.
ano gusto
So,
niya mangyari
at
sa buhay niya.
tulad naman ako kung if he can reinvent himself, no, towards something else. Kaya tingin ko ang habol na lang niya ay mag-migrate na lang, no? Hindi siya makasuhan dito at i-enjoy na yung kanyang kayamanan na kinita na mukhang dumami ng husto. Halimbawa, yung kanyang negosyo, anong kanyang pangalan ng kanyang negosyo na
Lucky,
125,000
yung Lucky 8 star, yung Lucky 8 ba yan? Ano?
yung Biancham ba yun?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, Taray.
125 million, no? Nag-increase by 1,000 times, no? At nakita mo naman, from being just a struggling lawyer, ay nung 2022, nagbigay siya ng 37 million as a campaign contribution kay Sara Duterte. So, ibig sabihin talagang
Wait lang, if you gave 30 million, what does that mean? Because usually you shouldn't give more than point one zero point zero
5%
zero point zero
supporting.
zero 1% of your wealth for things like that, right? Usually that's like there's a formula eh. You don't
At
give more than 1%.
ang isang dahilan kung bakit siya lumabas ng bansa ay hawak ng gobyerno yung kanyang mga bank accounts, including dollar accounts. So alam nila yung lalabas siguro yan kung sakaling mahuli siya. No? Kaya he can enjoy whatever wealth yung nailabas niya uh, diyan sa Europe. Hindi na rin naman siya ganun kabata. So masang kawawa yung kanyang pamilya. What will happen to them? Dahil mukhang yung kanyang asawa ay lumabas din ng bansa dahil hinahunting din. No? Hinahunting din ng
But is it also possible, Sir Ronald, that he got mixed up with the wrong people. I'm talking about Pogo people. Hindi ba nakakatakot din yan? You know, when you get into bed with those kind of people, hindi ba like, I'm not talking about the government and like official channels. Hindi kaya he
Mm.
also got into the wrong crowd and now he's having hard time kasi para mafia yan, di ba? Once you get in, there's no way out.
Mukhang wala naman siyang balak na umalis doon sa circle na yon. Baka nga yun na lang ang kanyang remaining link sa mga Duterte. Kung sakali makabalik yung mga Duterte, baka bumalik siya sa mga Duterte through the Pogo route, no? Baka doon na siya bumalik. Kaya I doubt kung hihiwalay siya diyan sa pinakinabangan niya na circles na yan. No? Kaya
Okay, before we get depressed more about Harry Roque, because we really care about him genuinely. I mean, if I were to be a novelist, yung third trilogy ni Rizal, kukumpletuhin ko. Siya yung isa sa aking central characters. Sino bang,
mm,
sir, kung ikaw, if Harry were a character in Noli Me, sino
mm,
siya? Doña Victorine. Sino ba siya doon?
baka yung Carabao.
Okay, eto na. Wag na. I
Tanong
say
mo ako.
what? Ay, akala ko ba naman sir, papatulan mo in an artistic literary way, yung pala Animal Farm ang naisip mo. Okay, kung si
Baka may
Animal Farm,
impact
ano
ako eh.
siya? Kung
Baka
sa
may
Animal Farm.
impact.
Okay, and then baka yung human rights na ma-violate sa Ronald. Going back to this, pasensya na, Sir Harry, hindi ko kontrolado talaga si Ronald ngayon. Sir Ronald, okay, Bongo. If Bongo becomes the next president, because let's be honest, Sir Ronald, I'm hearing news that there are people who are obviously saying, okay, Sarah seems like a front runner, but if ever she doesn't run for whatever reason, whether it's impeachment, whether it's ombudsman, whether it's she just backing out, clearly Bongo is in next in line, right? And he's in a very good position to consolidate that. And the thing with Bongo is that he showed he can fight from the center, build a coalition. So what about that? Would the Bongo presidency, like, what do you even think about that? The possibility of Bongo becoming, hindi lang siya dark horse, but could be a top contender if ever Sara doesn't sustain her momentum. Like, what about that angle of this issue?
Well, that's a distinct possibility. Ang laki ng kanyang pagiging number one. So, hindi lang siya nag-number one. Medyo malaki yung kanyang pagiging number one. Around 28 million. No? So, malaki yan.
7 million
Although,
more than number two. Oh, yeah.
alam naman natin na yung mga nagna-number one sa Senate doesn't necessarily become vice presidential timber or even a presidential timber. Kaya hindi pa nangyari yon. Kaya hindi yun formula for something
But you're
higher.
talking about someone who was the right-hand man of the former president, right? You're talking about someone like he's not just your Mar Rojas or your usual number. He's not just a Grace Po or Cynthia Villar na number or Robin Hood Padilla, right? He has a whole machine behind him. He built all that machine. He's the only one I know na parang senador na nga pero assistant pa rin ng president. I mean, like, he had an incredible situation, right? In terms of the power and influence and network he built.
Well, yes, pero kung maglalaban or magbe-break up sila ni Sarah, ay may cost sa kanya yon. Dahil isang dahilan kung bakit nandyan siya ay dahil ang tingin ay nasa inner circle siya na hindi naman nakikita ng mga tao yung ganitong klaseng division. Ang appreciation pa nila ay magkakasama silang lahat. Kung makikita na siya ay nakahiwalay, most probably it will cost him. No? Kung makikita sila. Ngayon naman, yung karaniwang tao naman, hindi naman nakikita. Ito nakikita natin eh. No? Hindi nakikita itong ganitong klase mga dynamics between Hanilet and Sarah, Maharlika and Harry with others. No? So, ang nakikita nila ay magkasama pa sila. Pero kung hihiwalay si Bongo, tingin ko definitely meron yung impact downward para sa kanya. Maliban pa sa ah, parang on his own, maliban dun sa spin around him, ay parang hindi naman siya ganun ka-compelling. No? Kaya we have to see how it works out. No?
Well, I
Uh,
mean the Malasakit Center thing, right? I mean,
but
it's a
that's
strong
over now.
brand.
No, wala na yung Malasakit Center. So, nagamit niya yon last election. I doubt kung magagamit niya yon sa 2028 dahil masyado nang malayo. No? Kaya yun, yung whether they will fragment or stay united will really impact doon sa kanyang mga possibilities for 2028.
No, I doubt he will run if Sara is still in the race. But I think if there's any indication that Sara might not run or something, he might make a move. Yun ang sense ko, di ba? I mean, remember, wasn't that also what happened to Sara with BBM, right? Like, everyone saw Sara as a front runner, and then nagkaroon ng dynamics with Bongo, Dugong, etc. And then basically the Marcoses came in and ate their lunch, right? And their lunchbox and the whole room, right?
Ang
So,
ang maganda kasi sa sitwasyon ni Bongo, kahit tumakbo siya for a higher office sa 2028 at matalo siya, he will still
safe
remain
pa
as
rin siya, yeah, 3 years, yeah.
unless may mga kasong isasampa sa kanya, no? At hindi ako magugulat kung meron ay ayun, magkakaproblema siya na malaki.
Yun nga. So, but
Ano,
if Sara
you
doesn't
will have
run,
a new ombudsman na hindi
yeah.
na nila hawak, no?
Mm,
Tapos sisimulan uli yung Quadcom,
right,
no? I doubt kung tatamaan siya sa ICC. Mukhang tatamaan mas si Bato at saka si
right.
Albayalde. So, ah
Also, we had Attorney Christian
although ngayon, may mga lumalabas
Cortez.
na against him. Halimbawa, dito sa mga projects, sa mga flood control, meron yata siya mga kamag-anak na nabigyan ng ganitong kalalaking mga
Allegedly,
project.
yeah.
So, tingin ko, sisimulan niyang gamitin against him. No? Itong mga ngayon pa lang lumalabas na mga kamag-anak niya na involved sa government contracts.
But
So,
if you're BBM administration and you don't have a clear successor, wouldn't it be smarter for you just to keep things on an even keel with Bongo and focus on the Sara one? Because that's the most clear threat to the admin. And maybe for them, Bongo is the more reasonable person they can deal with based on past experiences, based on the read on him. Because one of the things that people are looking at is the possibility that some within the admin might be more comfortable with the Bongo than a Sara Duterte. Do you see that
well,
kind of
well,
bifurcation
definitely,
vis-a-vis
we
BDS
can
camp?
look at Bongo as a lesser evil than Sarah, but a lesser evil is still evil at pwedeng sumabog sa mukha nila yan. I doubt if they are willing to take that leap dahil whether si Bongo ay may distance kay Sara, loyal yan kay Digong. At ang nagpakulong kay Digong is the Marcos government. No? So they will never be sure what a Bongo partnership will entail. Pero ang malinaw at this point, no, hindi nila mapagkakatiwalaan si Bongo in relation sa China, in relation kay Digong sa ICC, no, even in relation with Sara. Dahil hindi pa naman nag-deteriorate beyond a point na hindi na magsasama yung dalawa. So if I were the government, that will be a last resort. No.
Yeah, I'm talking about desperate
Oh,
situation thing, right? Like, parang wala tayong ipanalo dito, yung mga dilawan ayos sa atin. So, dito na lang tayo. Parang you could look at that where Bongo works it from the center, whereby he doesn't only have some DDS with him, if not the whole DDS if Sara doesn't go in, but he also has some people from the other side na who cannot work with the pinks or whoever will be on the
ang maging desperate moves nila ay itong charter
hindi
change.
mag-work, magba-backfire yan.
Tayo
That's dangerous, yeah.
ni Deputy Speaker Ronnie Puno, no, yung Concon, pino-float na niya ngayon.
That's dangerous. Okay, let's talk about that. I mean, doesn't that reek of desperation? I mean, it's not like first time yan. We saw the other year. Hindi naman nakipag
It's a bit late, no, para sa
yeah, it's too late. And it could backfire. The way it looks like desperate na okay, we cannot win, we cannot secure ourselves. We didn't get the impeachment through, so ganito na lang. But going back to this Sir Ronald on the whole admin situation. I mean, if you're BBM right now, what is your calculus? Because he's kind of doing the Dan Matuid, right? Like, what's going on here, right? I mean, of course, we want Dan Matuid na totoo, but it's like, medyo, hindi naman off-brand, but it will
Well,
take a lot for
I think
BBM
it's
to
much
operationalize
less
this
than
and,
that.
and make this look
I think
authentic,
it's much
right?
less than that. I think he's trying to do the populist card, no? Ang tanong, alam ba niya yung mga intricacies nung kanyang pinasukan na itong populist card ay can explode in his face. Lalo na kung tatamaan dito ay yung mga allies niya which is holding things together. Halimbawa sa Congress. Huwag mong kalimutan, may threat sa kanya si Sara to impeach him. No? At kung may impeach siya ni Sara before the elections, that will make Sara an almost sure winner sa 2028. No? Kung
Yun nga eh.
sakali.
Right.
So, Ang problema ko kasi, ang hirap kasi pasukan ng utak ni BBM eh. At this point, parang may element siya of a strategy. For the past 3 years, parang walang strategy. Ngayon, may counting element of a strategy on a populist card. Hindi ko sigurado kung yung strategy na yan is well planned out. No? Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, contingency 1, contingency 2, contingency 3. Because
Or
if
baka
you
Deng Xiaoping, let's just cross the river and feel the stones. Baka ganun ang Sir Ronald ang vibes natin.
po ay masyadong magaling si Deng Xiaoping kumpara kay
Medyo
PBBM.
yeah, yeah, very statecraft
Oh,
level yung mga yun eh.
itong mga guys na ito, nasa kwanto, nasa global level yung mga yan. No? At saka, medyo,
Waldorf. Waldorf.
medyo a universe away. No?
So, not that I'm asking for a Deng Xiaoping kind of leader, although I respect his market opening.
Mas ang kailangan pa niya, Xiao and Lai. Kind of
Ah,
ang
Zhou
gagawin.
Enlai, yeah. Medyo masyadong, yun ang sobrang high level, sir. Medyo
Oo.
hands of the 20th century level yata, Sir Ronald. Baka
Pragmatic
ikaw, sir, hindi
revolutionary.
mo maabutan, Sir Ronald.
A pragmatic revolutionary. No?
I mean, yeah, people always give credit to Mao Zedong, but people forget it was really Kissinger meeting Zhou Enlai that set the tone for the détente and the whole U.S.-China, counter maneuvers against the Soviet Union and all of that. But yeah, definitely Zhou Enlai sound, and he was really a suave guy, no? Yung sa Bandung conference, like everyone kasi remembers Mao Zedong, and they forget there was a Zhou Enlai. That was really an elegant,
He
yeah.
was almost destroyed uh, ng Gang of Four. No? At least he survived. At nung pumasok si Deng Xiaoping, siya yung naging most important element ng core group ni Deng Xiaoping. The ideologue, the foreign minister, no, the operator, no,
A
etc.
United Front. He's the one who negotiated with Kuomintang versus the Japanese Imperial Forces. So, I mean, really, really next level guy. Uh, Sino kayang pwedeng gang of four ng DTS, Sir Ronald? If ever tuloy-tuloy yung civil war nila. Magkakaroon ba sila ng gang of four din, Sir Ronald? Mga DTS.
Baka gang lang. Mm.
Baka gangrene. Baka gangrene. But kidding aside, let's go to the issue of flood control again, sir, because this is very important. I'm really amazed at how many ka-DDS, yung isa nga DPWH secretary pa ng panahon ni Digong, like they're so into this good governance, audit natin mga flood control. Well, last time I checked, we spent more than any other admin under Digong. Last time I checked, right? More than 12,000 projects reportedly were finished during Digong. According to Senator Lacson, I think close to 1 trillion pesos was spent over the past decade, bulk of it during the Digong administration. So, I mean, we have friends na in good governance mayor's group. We have friends like your favorite lawyer na wala siyang ipanalo. We have a couple of other interesting group of people, all of them converging on this issue of good governance, Dan Matuid. What is your read of the flood control issue? Kasi you were talking about this shouldn't explode in the face of BBM, but this is obviously being, I mean, even si Toby, what's Toby doing? Like, di ba yung alyansa ano yan? Manager, campaign man. Bakit biglang nag-ano siya ngayon? Ano ba nangyari sa Ronald? What's going on? I mean, isn't this a dangerous gamble for BBM unless he's really ready to go all in?
Well, una, because of the confluence of events. Yung onus ng flood control ay nasa gobyerno. Specifically sa Congress, sa DPWH at saka to some extent sa Senate. So talagang gagamitin niya ng mga DDS dahil sa ngayon ay ang flood control as a catastrophe ay nasa kamay ng gobyerno, which is a Marcos government, no. Ikalawa ay they smell blood. Nakita nila yung dynamics within different factions of the government. Nag-aaway ang House at saka ang Senate, nag-aaway ang mga tao mismo ni BBM like Toby Chanco versus the Speaker versus Saldico. So, yun yung ikalawa na gusto nilang patuloy na gatungan yung divisions na yan, no? Yung mga divisions na yan. At ang tingin nila ay masyado ng malayo. 3 years is a long time for them para ungkatin yung kanilang mga sariling mga flood control projects na mas marami. Mas marami at I'm almost sure mas tainted by anomalies, no? Mas tainted by corruption, no? So, para ungkatin 'yon ay kailangan gawin ng gobyerno yung kanilang homework. no? Dahil ang problema kasi sa gobyerno, hindi na weaponize yung mga weaknesses ng mga Duterte against the Duterte. Like itong corruption from Parmali, di ba, to medicines, yung West Philippine Sea na overwhelming yung support against China, hindi nila na weaponize yan. So, ang tingin ng mga Duterte ay we have the upper hand dahil itong gobyerno ito don't know how to create a narrative against us. Kami yung nakakakuha ng momentum against them. No? Kaya talagang i-maximize ng mga Duterte itong conjuncture na ito na hindi na ma-maximize ng gobyerno.
So where does that leave us na neither DDS nor admin or neither
Well,
team?
we're doing our stuff. Like, in a way, we won in the midterm. Diba? In a way, we won in the midterm. Dalawa yung pinatakbo nating senador na wala sa Magic 12 pero nakapasok sa top 5. No? Yung party list natin, nanalo. No? Historic win, the highest sa history ng party list. Mga local candidates natin, karamihan nanalo. So, in a way, within our limited sphere, ay na-weaponize natin yung ating pagiging anti-Duterte and critical of the government to our advantage. No? Although going into 2028 ay kinakailangan mo mag-Lenin, kinakailangan mo mag-direction of the main blow, di ba? So you have to consolidate yung maayos yung dynamics within the pink and the yellows at after yan, then around that, build a broad united front against the Duterte going into 2028. Sinasabi na ng mga DDS forces walang kandidato ang mga Marcoses kaya susuportahan nila ang mga pink. Even the DDS ay kinakalat na dahil in their own strategy ay kailangan ng ilantad yan. No? So, yun yung ating ginagawa. No? Ang kailangan lang natin gawin ay mag-scale up in terms of unities, in terms of strategies, in terms of key result areas going into 2028. Dahil
But
hindi na
aside
to
from scaling up, Sir Ronald, how do you insulate? Kasi my worry is the DDS are hoping to split yung pink movement. Like yung nagkaroon ng debate between pro-Lenny and pro-Risa and then later on, si Sunny pa, meron pa siyang ibang angle. I could see the DDS were having fun. I mean, literally some of their propagandists were laughing
If I
emojis.
were the DDS, I won't intervene. Dahil kung mag-i-intervene sila, baka lalong ma-unite. No? Kaya at this point, kung yung mga DDS ay more strategic in their analysis, di sila gagatong. Dahil pag gagatong sila, mahalata eh. At kung mahalata, lalong mag-unite yung mga pink against them.
So don't interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake, ala Napoleon. But having said that, remember when Sara Duterte was asked, totoo ba yung sinasabi ni Sunny na magkaibigan kayo ni Lenny? Ano sabi ni Sara? Parang tanungin niya na lang kay Lenny? Something like that? Like, how do you see that angle?
Oo, tingin ko it's not about sophistication. No, it's more about ano ba talaga yung relasyon nila. No, it's not yet on the level of gatong. No, wala pang ganon. Again, yung mga nare-recognize ko ng mga advisors ni Sara are no longer yung mga dating mga Harry Roque, mga Panelo. These are more professional itong mga nagpapatakbo ngayon. So, hindi yan mga hausyaw. No? At ang problema, ang nakikita ko medyo hausyaw ay yung yung Malacanang. Parang may vacuum ng mga strategies. Parang may vacuum ng political operator and negotiators. Yun yung problema. Tingin ko yung mga Duterte ay nag-i-scaling up in terms of strategies, operators, no? At if they can get their act together, ay mag-move sila in a positive way. No? Kaya this is now a war. Ang problema sa isang war, kailangan ay ma-weaponize mo ng husto yung iyong kampo. No? At sa ngayon, medyo may problema yung gobyerno in terms of divisions inside,
Yeah.
in terms of weapons they can use. No? Ang pinakamalaking problema nila is the narrative, the communications. That's why ngayon ako nakakita ng gobyerno nagpalit ng 5 beses ng communications head, no, in 3 years. No, in 3 years. So
Well, I mean,
nilang
better
ayusin yun.
change than sticking to
They
a
can no
bad
longer
one.
afford that eh. They can no longer afford that in the next 3 years. No?
They have to
Pero kung
consolidate.
tatanungin mo, medyo tahimik si Gomez. Yung bagong communication head, wala ka pa masyado naririnig sa kanya. Hopefully ay meron siyang ginagawang plano, no? Pero for now, wala pa siyang marka. No?
But yun nga, like this whole flood control good government done matuwid ala BBM is quite interesting. It's like yung PowerPoint presentation niya last week, di ba? Ito yung flood control project, ito yung top 15 contractors, ito yung share ng project na kuha. Did you ever imagine, Sir Ronald, you'll see a Ferdinand Marcos making a presentation like that? I could imagine the Pinoy or Mauro Has doing that or Lenny, but Ferdinand Marcos making a PowerPoint presentation with the press conference, ganon? I mean, isn't that
Nakikita
an
kasi niya,
opening?
ha?
Hmm.
Nakikita niya na nagkaroon ng controversy sa budget last December na dahil diyan gumuho yung kanyang approval ratings. Tapos nangyari yung midterm election na which was supposed to be a plebiscite on his leadership at practically hindi siya pumasa. So nakikita niya yan eh. So he has to do something drastic. He has to do something dramatic. At itong populist card, possibly, yung nakikita niya na scaling up niya dito. Hindi ko sigurado kung natansya niya yung epekto niyan sa kanyang sariling base. No? Sa kanyang sariling base. Pero,
Does he
ah,
have even a strong base anymore? Like, what is this? Solid North plus what? NCR? Because if we were to believe some of the surveys, Bongo and Sara are already doing very well in NCR aside from Mindanao.
yes. No? Yes. Ah, dahil nga, wala silang rival. Ibig sabihin, yung gobyerno ay on the defensive. So itong nasa offensive na ito, lalo na ngayon na nanalo sila sa impeachment, they will create that momentum. Diba? Sila ngayon ang boses ng rule of law. Yung mga pro-impeachment ngayon, ang parang unconstitutional. Sila ngayon ang against rule of law. So, yun eh. Kaya may momentum na nakuha ang mga Duterte dito sa impeachment.
Yeah, especially with the also Supreme Court ruling
Because
there. Yeah.
the momentum started with the midterm election na nanalo yung kanilang mga kandidato at natalo yung mga kandidato ng alyansa. Tapos
And
dito
hindi nga tanggap nila Jimmy Bondok na talo sila, di ba? Parang feel nila mas maraming pa dapat nanalo sa kanila. Parang ibang klase to mga to. Kasi
correct.
dapat si Ben Tulfong umakyat.
Mhm. Correct. So, while they're organizing their momentum, parang ang sagot ng gobyerno is this populist card related sa corruption, specifically on flood control. Na okay naman as a strategy. Ang problema, natatansya ba nila kung paano nila i-handle yung fallout? Kasi
Yeah.
may takumaan sa mga kasama nila eh. No? Unless malinaw sa kanila na uh, i-immunize nila yung leaders nila, meron silang gagawing sacrificial lambs. No? Tingin ko yun yung pwedeng compromise. Pakinabangan mo yung populist card, pero at the same time, protect your own people or at least most of them. At to do that, kailangan mo meron kang isasakripisyo.
Is this also about BBM trying to show that he's not a lame duck?
Of course, no? Of course, no? Na parang he's still in control, no? At don't count him out yet. Pero bahagi kasi niyan ay kaya nga balancing act eh. Bahagi niyan ay mapigilan mo yung momentum ng mga Duterte. At dahil wala kang ginawa do sa impeachment ni Sara, nakatulong ka do sa kanyang momentum, no? Inuulit ko, the presidency is a very strong institution. Kung alam mo paano gamitin 'yan, perhaps nanalo yung impeachment. No? Both in the Senate and in the Supreme Court. If you
Tumaas ang kilay ng tao dito, so inevitably I have to ask this question. What was that whole BBM throwing shades at Jesus Cordero trying to join the Supreme Court all about? Because from what we understand, it's not like BBM stance was very clear also on this issue, right? What was all about? Like, I don't think, first of all, I don't think he articulated it optimally, to put it nicely. But like, why would you throw shades at cheese like that in an event like that? It doesn't that even make the situation worse? I just don't get what was the logic of that. Parang trying to dress down
was
cheese
it
there.
was a job, it was a job couched as a joke, no? Kaya dahil because of that, people are confused like you on how to
Kasi
interpret
parang
that.
sa akin, it was a joke, joke. Parang drape in a jab. Parang ganun lang, parang baliktad ang dating niya sa akin. Eh.
Kaya nga,
Kaya,
pwedeng isipin ng iba, it was more of a job. Isipin ng iba, it was more of a joke. Or isipin ng iba, what was that about?
wala lang.
What was that about?
Okay,
So,
let's move on. Actually, I
either
wanted to
a joke
repost
or
it.
a
And then
job.
sabi ko, yeah, but it doesn't, it's
Parang
not
mas marami yung iisip na, what was that about? It wasn't a joke and it wasn't a job. So what kind of creature was it? So
yeah, like that was a category error. Like how do I put it? Well, let's talk about cheese because according to Harry Roque, Sir Ronald, I think medyo huli sa balita si Harry Roque sa mga ganitong balita. We heard this 2, 3 months ago pa na it's Cheese positioning himself as a candidate of the admin that basically ang argument ni Cheese, but di ba, we were talking about this like March pa yata or something like that, na Cheese trying to convince the admin na hilaw tong impeachment na to, forget about it. But why would Harry Roque say that now in August 2025? Like, medyo huli siya sa analysis yata. Medyo, this is so 4 months ago.
ganun talaga pag nalulunod ka sa humba. Kailangan umangat ka muna
Post-humba, ano ba to?
to catch some air, no? Yung hirap yan pagkain ka ng kain ng humba eh, no? Medyo ka muna, no? Kumuha ka ng fresh air dun sa field of tulips, no? Sa
With
Netherlands.
rainbow. And then
Oh,
naka-bike ka. Talaga to si...
stuffed toy na unicorn
Oh,
na
man.
rainbow yung colors, no? Wala akong naisip pahiwatig to sa
Clearly, he's
rainbow.
not a good political analyst nor a vlogger. But, um, where does this leave Cheese now? Should Cheese be worried about his own...
It ay patuloy na bumababa, no? Yun sigurado ko. Patuloy siyang bumababa. At ang problema, dinadrag niya yung Senate with him. Imagine for the first time mas mataas ang
Mas
Congress.
mataas ang lower house kaysa upper house. That tells you a lot.
Ano nangyayari yun, no? Pero siya mismo personally, tingin ko tatamaan siya dito sa Fort Worth,
Sa flood
tatamaan siya dito
control.
impeachment, tatamaan siya sa insertions, tatamaan siya dito sa flood control, tatamaan siya dito sa maraming bagay na lalabas at lalabas pa. No? At yung kanyang handling, no, parang alam ko si Cheese may magandang kanyan communications team. Pero even a communications team niya ay hindi na-handle ng maayos.
Baka mag-joint session.
Itong lahat ng banat sa kanya. No? Itong lahat ng
Kasi,
banat.
no,
Kaya
I
tingnan mo,
mean,
siya.
yeah,
Dati cool lang siya eh. Ngayon, yung kanyang mga
napipikon na siya. Napipikon na siya,
sa
yes.
flood control, etc. ay para siyang para siyang barangay captain na asar, di ba?
Napipikon na siya,
Nawala
yeah.
yung kanyang gravitas nawala yung kanyang yung kanyang sophistication,
Yung
no?
kanyang zero
Iwan yung kanyang
self-confidence.
sophistication sa kanyang kilay.
Kung nga dyan, kilay curve eh. Yung, imagine mo, kay Zubiri pala, ang taas pala ng approval ng biglang drrrr, ganyan.
At
Patapos pa pang kilay eh. Oh, kilay curve.
papanoorin mo, halimbawa kanina, yung interpellation ni
Tinggoy?
Tito Sen,
Ay,
ni Tito Soto, magaling magaling si Tito Sen
yeah,
gumagaling.
like, that's my worry.
Kahapon,
When you
kahit
think
na kay
when
Joey
everyone is
Villanueva,
impressed with Tito Sen, like,
interpellation niya ngayon, di ba? Yung gumagaling, nagugulat ako.
but Tito Sen is really going for it, no? Kasi if the intel to
Nakikinis
us is
kasi.
true, he came close to grabbing the position, 'di ba? Mukhang may kulang na naman nangyari, hawsyaw na naman. But you think Tito Sen really has a good chance? Kasi mukhang very unstable yung Senate leadership. Lalo if Cheese is gonna face more and more pressure on multiple fronts as it...
Sa Senate, it can happen overnight. May makuha kang 13 senators, di tapos ka, Senate President. No? Kung halimbawa, maasar sa yung presidente, pwedeng makakuha yon. Paano? Karamihan naman sa senators, administration So makakuha lang siya ng 6, 7 para samahan yung minority, then nabago na yung Senate President. No? At kung ikaw ay presidente, you can easily get 6 or 7 senators. So it can change overnight.
Yeah, we saw that with the Mig Zubiri. I mean, as Mig Zubiri said, diba? I've seen strange things in my life, and then suddenly si Bongo na si Bato pala na I'll be there to the end of the world. Next thing you know, ay bumoto ako sa kabila, diba? Um, okay, let's talk about this because suddenly itong mga senators natin, marami sa kanila galit na galit ngayon sa itong online gambling. Itong mga issues, Sir Ronald, again, mga huli sa balita yata sila, mga 4 months na natin pinag-usapan itong gambling crisis in the country. Bilang ngayon, diring-diri yung isang senador. Hindi ko
Hanggang
sinabi na
talaga siya.
convicted to pero ito yung isang senador na
Crisis,
isang iringin
crisis,
siya.
crisis level talaga siya eh. May nakausap akong isang vice governor, hindi ko na babanggitin kung sino, na sabi niya ay tumataas ang kwan dito, ang suicide because of e-gambling. No?
At kabataan.
Dahil very accessible sa kabataan Yung siyempre murang edad tapos hindi pa yan sanay katulad mo sa tragedies no sa blows of life no. So
No, no, no.
tama
Akala ko this will be our first episode without you bullying me.
yung bully kunya actually
Tingnan
inaangat
si
kita di ba?
Ranjit, nahuli ng mami ko. Sabi ko, bakit si Ranjit Raiden? Nakiki-Ronald siya. Sabi ko kay Ranjit, alam mo, nahuli ka ng mami ko, binubuli mo ako doon sa indirect contempt. Sabi niya, ganyan. Sabi niya, ay, napansin niya. Kung ano pa si Ranjit, hindi lang niya dininay, ay, napansin niya. Napapansin talaga. Si Ronald.
It's nice to have fun do sa indirect contempt. Di ba?
Yun ang
Alam mo,
talagang gang of four ang kalaban.
if it was the other shoe, I'm sure you will enjoy making fun of my indirect contempt. So,
Pero it's not like your hopeless case pa. I think baka mapansin ka rin eventually. Papunta naman tayo dyan sa Ronald But, no, so yung online gambling, do you think we're going towards total ban na talaga? Kasi suddenly,
ano, ang dami
pera-pera ng
nagre-react.
usapan.
Hindi lang civil society, yung simbahan is really up in arms, no? At nararamdaman niya ng mga politiko. Siyempre, yung mga politiko, pinapakiramdaman din nila yung climate, eh. So nakikita nila, wala naman silang pakinabang sa online gambling. Ang nakikinabang diyan is PAGCOR, no? At saka mga ilang negosyante. Ikalawa ay tingin nila pine-pressure na sila ng kanilang mga constituency. Anong gagawin niyo diyan? Bakit tahimik kayo? So nakikita nila nagiging perfect storm for them. Makikinabang sila in relation sa tao, tapos wala namang maibabawa sa kanila dahil wala naman silang pakinabang diyan, no? Or yung iba baka gamitin 'yan para magkaroon ng pakinabang, no?
Wait lang.
No?
Parang
Sa
iba
ngayon
na yan
wala.
sa Ronald. Parang ibang
Pero
jurisdiction.
pero for now it's the most unpopular game in town, no? Kaya
Like, good luck sa'yo kung abogado ka ng mga flood control contractors or spokesman ka. Naalam mo yung spokesman ni Binay hinimatay? Naalam mo yung time na yun may hinimatay na spokesman ni Binay, yung tinanong sa kanya yung inquirer na mga expose, hinimatay siya bigla. So, kiling
uh,
ko kung mag-spokesman ka ngayon, good luck sa'yo sa
alam ko yan,
contractors
dahil
at gambling.
wala kaming kwan wala kaming involvement noon Kaya
Yan ang
pinapanood ko
gusto
lang.
ko sa'yo sa Ronald. Na-obvious talaga kung may involvement ka. Hindi, may denial ka agad. Parang kang Kremlin. Whenever Kremlin said, wala kaming kinalaman sa nangyari sa Ukraine or Kazakhstan or whatever, like, oh,
Parang,
so there is a
parang si Joel Villanueva. Walang senador na may kinalaman dyan sa flood control. Di ba? Just a few hours tapos yung press ni BBM, no? Tapos paliwanag siya. DPWH, no? No. Was there ever a time na humingi ako sa iyo ng pabor in relation sa flood control? Wala naman nagtatanong. Wala, kanina, yun ang ginawa. Wala naman nagtatanong. So, lalo ka naging defensive. No, bakit mo tinanong yun? So, lalo naging suspicious ngayon ng mga tao. No?
Ito na, last part na natin, Sir Ronald. Habol ko na yung gym. So, where are we in terms of yung nurturing the pink movement, the progressive movement, the non-DDS, non-loyalist movement, or at least building a grand coalition? Nasa ere pa rin ba tayo? Or you think there's still good indications that things are moving in the right direction? Like, do you think
Well,
Lenny is doing that
there
to
are
mayors for good governance? Like, what is going on here?
Well, I think there are moves now to fix yung mga dynamics na nangyari because of the 2025 midterm elections. Tingin ko may mga moves na doon. Ikalawa ay tingin ko ay within the next few months, what will dominate will be the anti-Sara campaign after the failure of the impeachment. No, Quadcom, Ombudsman, Street, dadalhin sa kalsada yung impeachment, ICC. So, tingin ko with this different tracks, ay magkakaroon ng unity yung pink at saka yellow dahil a lot of this silang gagawa. hindi kaya itong gawin ng isang grupo lang eh. So lahat sila gagawa. So magkakaroon ng working relationship. They will be part of a strategy, no? As well as tingin ko merong gagawin ng mga gatherings para mabawasan yung dynamics. And then at a certain time, mag-uusap-usap yung mga principals. No? Kaya optimistic ako. Dahil 2028 is a survival battle. Not only for the Marcoses, but for the pink. No? Kaya
I mean, to put it mildly, baka naman mag-second exile tayong lahat. No, but yeah, I mean,
that is not lost on them. No, that is not lost on them.
yeah. I mean, how do you see Kiko and Bam performing so far? I mean, I think they're doing okay. Kiko, I think, is doing very well. I mean, the way na binasag lang niya si si Boy Sile doon sa issue ng criminal liability issue, etc. Like the way he was explaining it, diba? Like parang in a very elementary, parang sa barangay hall lang siya nag-explain. Kiko is stepping up. Are we overlooking Kiko? Do you think we're being unfair to Kiko? Now, we always talk about Lenny, Bam, Risa. What about Kiko? Are we overlooking him?
I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure. Tingin ko naman he's still in play. No? Pero parang hindi naman niya pino-float pa yung sarili niya as a contender for 2028. No? Lalo na meron siyang 6 years as senator. No? Baka ayaw na niya mangyari yung nangyari last election na sinacrifice na yung kanyang pagiging senador for the vice presidency na medyo wala siya chance. No? So baka mas circumspect siya in terms of his role sa 2028. No? Pero who knows? No? You still have 3 years. So kung sino yung maka-create ng isang a more compelling narrative, pwede siyang sumulpot. Pwede ngang from out of nowhere, merong Black Swan na biglang sumulpot. Who knows? No? Yung paborito mo, si General Torre, at the minimum ay
Yun! Yun ang
at
gusto ko marinig Sir Ronald.
the minimum,
Nagtatampo na
senador
ako.
yan. At the minimum, senador yan. No? Yung ganun ba? May mga,
Not enough, not enough.
yung ating landscape, yung ating bansa, with its weak
Yeah, fluid.
institutions, no? Minsan unpredictable yung susulpot. With stronger institutions, mas predictable yung resulta. With weaker institutions, you don't know
Very
what will
natural.
happen. No? Yung negative side niyan, you can have a Duterte. Yung positive side niyan, you can have a Pinoy. 'Di ba? So it's part dun sa pros and cons of a weak political system. No?
Ito talaga Sir Ronald. Huling na to. 5 minutes na lang matapos na. So ito. Sir Ronald, like kahapon lang ay puno na naman yung email ko. Sir, paano napuno yung email ko? Sabi ko, di naman ganun kadaming email. 100 gigabytes na po. Pagtingin ko, yung dami natin episodes doon na napupunta sa Google Drive ko. So kagabi, it took me so long to delete all our episodes together. Tapos na-realize ko, ang dami para natin pinagsasabi sa lahat the past 2 years and all together, Sir Ronald. Honestly, like, I know regular ka rin sa mga kabilang channel and all of that, but, I don't think they're in the same ideological universe, the same way you and I are, right? I don't think, are they? Parang, I think the two of us are the closest in terms of, at least among the magulong,
Well, dito kasi napag-uusapan ng ideology.
we talk about Gramsci, Lenin. I don't think you talk about Lenin, Gramsci dun sa,
Channel na napag-uusapan ko si Lenin o si Gramsci or si Trotsky or globalization. No? So medyo iba yung dito.
or
Pero
New
kahit
Liberal.
dito kasi hindi natin iniiwasan natin 'yan dahil baka mahirapan ding unawain ng ating mga tagapakinig.
Retag tayo. But having said that,
So,
Sir
pero
Ronald,
dito napag-uusapan natin ang political spectrum. Napag-uusapan natin dito yung progressive movement, di ba?
Well, having
So,
said that, yun nga, like the appreciation that people are having, because of course they know you on different platforms, but they said one thing that they appreciated with R&R is you make progressive concepts, frameworks, paradigms uh, more relatable, more understandable, humorous. Kasi ang tingin nila pag progressive, ito yung activista, parating gusto away, tapos nakikita tayong dalawa, nagtatawanan lang tayo, humba-humba lang tayo. So parang, and then like, but actually may sense yung sinasabi nila minsan, di ba? So some are saying, baka maybe this is a kind of a, maybe this could be a template for progressives in situations like in the Philippines. Now, let's be honest, medyo mas center-right ang Philippines, to put it mildly, right? Ideologically, if I can put it that way. Like maybe this is a template, sir. Do you see it that way? Or maybe I'm overreading into this. Baka natatawa lang sila sa atin.
Yeah, tingin ko it could be, no? Not necessarily nandun na tayo. Halimbawa, nakakausap natin, dito lang natin nakakausap si Walden, no? So, dito natin na pag-uusapan yung leaders ng kaliwa, na si Dodong na pumanaw na, si Randy David, etc., etc. So, in other guesting, hindi naman natin sila na pag-uusapan eh. So, maganda na dagdagan pa ito going into 2028. Then hindi naman sapat na magbuo ka lang ng broad front against the Duterte. Dapat within that, merong mas malapot na mga cadres na involved para kung sakaling manalo ay hindi naman magkaroon lamang ng liberal democratic moment. Kailangan within that moment meron kang strong progressive pole. So ayun, so kasabay ng ating mga pinag-uusapan ay dapat i-strengthen pa rin yung progressive pole for all its flaws, for all its weaknesses, no? Kaya ayun, tingin ko ay in a way, kailangan ding i-scale up yon
And
going into
are we being fair with using our I mean, I discussed this with Kapersi. People have noticed how much Justice Carpio chuckles on this show. But some people are wondering, ano ba to, Sir Ronald, yung medyo humorous personalities natin. Do you think this is really the way forward? Because I told your principal back in the day, I told him, kasi pagkaalam ko, si Merkel lang medyo inaano niya. I said, we're not a Germanic Nordic society, we're a Latin society. So you need to use humor and basically Iberian island Malayan humor. Ikaw, Sarah, were you always funny like this? Or you realize this is what really this is how you can couch? 'Di ba kanina sabi mo kay BBM hindi mo alam kung yung jab couch in a joke or joke couch in a jab. Is this, Sir Ronald, your ideological couch in humor, or humor ka lang nagkataon lang naging ideological ka? Sige.
at katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, no? Hindi naman nagbago si Harry Roque. Character na niya yan. In a way, yung ako ngayon, ito na yung character ko noon. Naalala ko nung 80s sa isang coalition meeting, ah, sabi ko doon sa isang leader nung ah, nung dominant left group noon, no? Dito lang natin pwedeng pagtawanan at lapastanganin itong grupo na ito nang hindi tayo pinapatay. So tawanan, tawanan. Sabi nung tao na nirefer ko, don't be too sure. No, sabi niya gano'n. Ibig sabihin, kahit nung panahon na yon, nung 80s, ang tawag na sa akin ni Father Edicio de la Torre, nila Boy Morales, no? Nila Joel Rocamora, ang tawag na nila sa akin, heckler. No? Heckler.
Yeah, which is
Doon ko nila narinig yung salitang heckler.
so
That was
before Tulfo, since we discussed Torre, we should, and Trillanes to a certain degree, the other letter T is Tulfo. Were you the heckler before the Tulfos?
well, in a way, no? Talagang pan yun. Dahil nga may iba't ibang political tendencies noon nung binuo namin yung mga coalitions. Yun yung golden age of coalition. LACC, no? Yung Freedom from Death Coalition, Congress for a People's Agrarian Reform, National Movement for Civil Liberties. Ito yung first time na nagsama-sama ito. At to diffuse the tensions, to diffuse yung long-standing ideological battles itong mga grupong ito, somebody has to make some jokes. At nung panahon na yon, yun ang naging role ko.
Yeah, I mean, like, if people want to realize how serious Ronald is as a historical figure, please read yung Filipino Social Democracy Origins and Characteristic written by my former colleague at Ateneo, si Dr. Benji Tolosa Jr., no? Don, Sir Ronald, you're discussed as a very serious historical figure. And to be honest, hindi ko siya ma-reconcile doon sa mga kalokohan natin kay Harry. Like, the way you're talking was, di ba seryoso si Dr. Tolosa, di ba? I mean, he's a very nice guy. Di ba? Parang, the way he talks about Ronald Llamas, one of the pillars, ganyan, like, ito pa yung kasama ko dito. Like, di ba? Like, ikaw, when you read about yourself written in a very serious sense, let's
It was a time of serious ideological debates. Yun yung panahon na pinag-uusapan ang maraming mga ideologies na hindi na pinag-uusapan ngayon. Ayun
ito.
yun.
Kaya nga, di ba, I asked Walden dun sa From Marx to Marcos, di ba? Sabi ko, what's the difference? Are we living in a post-ideological end of history? Kasi before, people really believe in a certain end of history, right? Like, towards socialism, whatever, utopia. Ngayon, wala na eh. Postmodern na tayo sa Ronald. So, I like, honestly, when I was reading that, he's
Nagugulat na ako sa
the
mga
Ronald
debate ngayon.
Llamas.
Yung mga debate ngayon ay 90% identity. Kaya nga sabi ko kay Nathan Kimpo, Nathan, lalo mo si Nathan, di ba? Nagtuturo sa Japan. Sabi ko, Nathan, hindi pa natin pagdedebatihan dito ang class struggle. Puro na lang ba identity issue sa pagdedebatihan natin dito?
Pati siya, no? Like, yeah. No, I mean,
Oo.
there's nothing wrong with fighting for minority, rights and all. Ang akin lang, let's not forget the class element, di ba? I mean,
Hindi, kasi lahat yun ay nakalink sa class. No? Hindi to usapin ng dominant, determinant, pero class is underlying kwan doon ethos sa lahat ng mga debate na yan. Hindi ko siya titignan as standalone issues, yung identity issues. Titignan ko siya as interrelated. But that's a different topic.
that's a different topic, and just to end on this note, sir, I mean, like, I think one reason two of us can relate with each other, even though you're from another school and background, I'm just from UP and all, is that I think both of us are like the typical middle class na nagkaroon ng, wait lang, parang may mali, di ba? Parang ganun. Magbasa nga ako dito, ano meron, di ba? Tapos meron kang Shogun na bully na personality, kumbaga nag-jumble-jumble, tapos para sa tayong love natin, mommies natin. Di ba? Kaya nga nakaka-relate tayo kasi medyo similar. I mean, none of us come from like political dynasties. Wala tayong noble oblige, Sir Ronald. We're just noble. walang walang oblige. Or oblige lang, walang noble, sorry. So I just felt class element matters You coming from that kind of background. Although I still wonder why Walden said I remind him of his dad, sabi niya, yung flamboyant. I was not sure. Is that a compliment? Sabi kong ganun. Let's be honest, Ronald, that's the only time I saw you a bit nervous. You were nervous that day.
Ay,
Ayan.
dapat na natin kausapin ulit si Walter.
Oh, speaking of that, on that note, let's send it. Yeah, definitely. I'll send this to Sir Walden. Sabi ko, Sir Walden, I think this calls for another Marks and Marcos episode 3. Tuwang-tuwa si Walden. Although medyo bully ka rin sa episode na yan, Ronald, kaya buti nga umalis ka. Tama na. Mag-usap na kami ni Walden. That was good. Love na love ko yan. Kasi yun nga, we can agree to disagree. That's what people always forget. On that note, thank you so much, Sir Ronald. This is what I
Yes.
love about our conversation. We can do our parang safe space kasi siya for us to think progressive ideological ways in ways unfortunately we may not feel as confident in other platforms. So thank you, Sir Ronald, for helping us create this kind of safe and funny zone. At sabi nga nila, Sir Ronald, may bago ka ng Sir Ronald. You're now yung sub-request niyo. You're now a national treasure, Sir Ronald. Ronald National. So pwede ka na ilagay sa museum sa likod mo. May
Sabi nga,
Ronald.
sabi nga ng bunso ko, di wow.
Eddie Wow. Kuha tayong t-shirt, no? Eddie Wow. Eddie Wow. Pero on that note, thank you very much. God bless and talk to
Okay,
you
see
soon.
you.
Salamat. Pahinga ka na, Sir Ronald. See you soon.